Anyways, we got a video by cave divers. I know y'all seen the memes a few months ago, cave divers. One thing, living in Kentucky, we have a place, I'm pretty sure it's in Kentucky, it's called Mammoth Cave. What goes through your mind where like, how bored do you have to be? What thrill are you chasing? You're like, yeah, I'm going cave diving. I'm going to cram my body in the most mediocre space available and possibly die. What do you gain? Oh, I can at least understand rock climbing. At least understand. Because, you know, you have a harness, you know, there's a few steps you can take to be safer, but cave diving? No. Anyways, we got a video by Tommy MFG. Go like, subscribe, show him his love, as we do with every channel on this channel, because real reaction channels don't steal. We don't steal. I show the credit to the original creator. You know, this may not be everybody's cup of tea where someone's talking the whole time. So I love y'all. Let's get into it, bro.
All right, here we go.
Jack and his
Buddies bravely ventured deep into a cave carved by an underground river. Out of the blue, the water rose sharply, and they found themselves in a place just like never before. The cold water was eating away at their breathing space.
Cave diving, an underwater extreme sport which is done as a way to explore the wonder of caves. You can face wonderful things such as dark, desolate spaces with the sharpest rocks on earth, tight openings where you may have to break your kneecaps to get through, oxygen tanks that can run out and potentially have you suffocate to death, but ooh, look at that view. And if you're mad at me for calling it a sport, don't get mad, okay? That's what Google says. But when you're in situations like this, it's probably a sport, right?
Are elbow pads gonna be a problem for me? My sweater, anything?
Yeah.
The passage is both rugged and very tight for me.
Okay, cool. The raw camera would be helpful.
One thing I gotta give credit to white people about is they do shit most people wouldn't do, bro. I feel like, cause white people like just come up with the most outrageous shit, and you're like, yo, fuck do you mean you're jumping out of a plane? Whose idea was it to be like, yeah, we're gonna go all the way up in the sky. And when we're up in the sky, you're gonna open the door. You're gonna open the door, and I'm going to jump out of said plane. You can't make this shit up. And then on top of that, they come up with like so much other shit. They have like, I gotta give white people credit. They have balls, bro. They have balls. Cave diving. I haven't seen one Negro go cave diving. I haven't seen a video of one Negro. I'm pretty sure there's one out there, but naturally, I've never came across a Negro cave diver. You know what I'm saying? And it's like rock climbing as well. Before all the safety measures and harnesses and shit, you see that tall 200-foot wall that leads to a cliff? Yeah, man. You can climb that. Why? Like, I just want to meet the people who came up with this shit, and I just want to ask, what made you think of even attempting a thought of climbing that shit without a harness, just your hands, buddy? Please let me know.
Is there room to turn around and come back?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my goodness. I understand. So Jacob went face first down a drop down there. It's a little tight through here, but I can keep moving my elbows through. So as long as I can keep bending my elbows,
Yeah.
I'm okay. Oh, I'm too old for this, dude. I am too old for this.
By the way, people do this as an option in life. It wasn't set mandatory, this was a free will pick. So yeah, cave divers have been the topic of the month in social media trends, I guess. I don't know who or when we started talking about cave divers, but if you go on YouTube, you gotta...
Outdoor Boys, I just saw their post where they fucking retired, bro. Or he retired because his family couldn't live a normal life, bro. So, even though this video is older, how old is this video? 2 months ago? Even though this video is older, I appreciate Outdoor Boys. I don't know the next time I'll ever get stuck in an Alaskan winter storm out in the middle of nowhere. But if I do, I'll make sure to watch your videos, buddy. Thank you.
A ton of channels documenting the craziest cave diver deaths, and on TikTok it's become a trend to make fun of them. The joke being, anytime a cave diver sees a tiny crack, they try to slide right in. That may have not sounded right, but y'all get the point. Now, my main reason on making this video is trying to find out why the f anyone would do this. Obviously, the main people this appeals to is thrill seekers. There's a whole genre of human who just love doing the most
I have
death
to make
seeking.
sure that music wasn't copyrighted, bro. Hold on. You know how I get, bro. If it's copyrighted, I can't. Yep. No, it's free. It's free. But if it's copyrighted, I can't make shorts. Get them out to you people. Sorry.
Activities, which we'll talk about later, but we'll focus on cave diving. One of the main reasons for my research on why people do it is because cave diving is seen as one of the last things humans have explored on Earth. Because most people aren't trained to do it and usually think, I can either spend thousands of dollars into learning lessons on how to cave dive properly as a hobby, or buy a gaming PC and run some games with the gang. I'm going with the PC. Honestly, I have no clue how much cave diving lessons cost. It was just a joke. Cave divers, don't come at me. I am equipped with a water gun. But they see it as places where almost nobody on Earth has visited. It's like that thing in humanity where everybody wants to be the first at something, and that's usually where a lot of the cases happen, in places that have never been explored. Even if they are though, if you're not professionally equipped, you're gonna end up a peanut butter and rock sandwich, which is why a lot of the experts say you need to be well trained before going, especially if you're just starting out. One of the most famous cave diving incidents is known as the Nutty Putty Cave incident. You may have seen your favorite horror YouTuber talk about this for the 20th time, but I'm sorry, I do have to rehash it for the people that may not know. It all started on November 24th, 2009. A man named John Jones with his brother and friends decided they wanted to go cave diving in the, you guessed it, Nutty Putty Cave. Most of the cave was mapped out by people exploring it, but not all of it. My brain is way too small to figure out how the they mapped that out purely by looking at things like this. Probably why I just make YouTube videos. John accidentally slipped into the wrong section of the cave though, and got put into a narrow slope in the cave facing downwards. I don't know how you don't panic like this, but I would be cooked. And over 27 hours, 130 rescuers were trying to save him. They tried to pull him out.
This is gonna be a controversial opinion that I'm about to say, and I'm sorry that I have to say this, but someone got to say it. I feel like situations like these, anything revolved to something completely avoidable, like going diving in a fucking cave, we shouldn't waste our resources. I don't think the fire department, the police, whatever diving team should ever even have to boot up the car and put a single drop of gas in there to come save somebody that got stuck in a fucking cave, that's stuck on top of a fucking tree. That what are the other ones? A cave, a tree, and what else? Something completely unavoidable. Like, I ain't gonna say anything with the ocean because, you know, fishermen and shit, like, you know, shit like that. But what is something completely unavoidable, bro? You know, I ain't gonna say skydiving because obviously most of the time, if you can jump out the sky, you're gonna die.
With a system of pulleys and ropes, but it made things worse. And when one person finally managed to be pulling him out, his rope snapped in half. That's the type of luck I would have in this situation. But sadly, through the next day, they couldn't end up pulling him out, and he ended up dying from cardiac arrest and suffocation in the cave. The whole situation is sad, and John sadly wasn't trained enough for it. The worst part about this is, I just found out they made a movie recreation of it. Imagine someone close to you dies a tragic death in a scenario like this, and they make it a movie with 5.5 stars on IMDb and put that bitch on Peacock for free. Like, my at least put it on Netflix. Now we gotta lay down one thing about cave diving. Obviously, by the amount of people that do them, it's not a casual thing of a cave diver going out to explore and being packed up immediately. It's more of a when a situation does happen, it becomes a big thing that people talk about because the situations are so crazy. Think of it like the story y'all are seeing now about the planes malfunctioning all over the world. Meanwhile, just in the USA, there's 16 million flights a year. I don't blame people for not taking those odds though. This year, it feels like planes have been deciding to give up on purpose. Another reason cave divers do it is to see the formations of the cave and how cool they look. And I can admit, They look pretty cool. Not worth risking my life to death type of cool, but I can give it a thumbs up. People also find new species when going cave diving. And who doesn't want to be a person who could say they found a whole species?
What fucking species resides in a cave, bro? There's no way a fish resides in a cave, bro. It's a cave. I'm pretty sure it doesn't have the food, resources, whatever for it to fucking survive. Maybe a spider. But like I don't think a fish.
A lot of times it is pretty useless though, like worms and shrimps. But at least you can name yourself after it. I also found this post about some cave divers explaining why they personally do it. And yes, this Reddit is called r/caving. Nowadays, anybody got a Reddit. Speaking of Reddits, make sure y'all join mine too. I check it every Twitch stream. The person said, so a few days ago, I came across caving accidents on YouTube and I've been terrified of the concept of caving since then. I'm not making this post disrespectful by any means, but I'm just genuinely curious. Let's see, y'all think the cave divers got mad at this? The top comment is, why do anything that's not required to exist? It's fun and fulfills desires. Same with most activities in the outdoors. Okay, I would say not every activity is like cave diving outdoors. You know, you got hiking. I feel like that's pretty safe as long as you go to a well-pathed area. You know, you also got fishing too. Most of us don't shy away from what ifs. You could expire in a desert if you're not prepared, or in another risky activity. Oh my god, I can't read. Mountaineering? What is that? I don't think I've ever heard of that. Oh my god, that's this? This is by far worse than cave diving, because genuinely, bro, like, that ice gives up, that ice melts a little bit, you're cooked. I think the crazy mountaineering activity I'll never understand is Mount Everest. Like, Mount Everest is so dangerous.
They have bodies as checkpoints.
To help people who want to climb the mountains from people that formerly died there.
That's crazy. Imagine, like, your dad, your mom. This ain't funny, but it is. Imagine your parents or someone you love goes to Mount Everest to climb. They never come back. They're obviously dead, you know. And they're using that nigga body for a checkpoint. Is that a dead guy over there? Yeah, guy, we're 30 meters up. We're 30 meters up. And then I also heard about it's so dirty up at Mount Everest because, you know, people, obviously humans still gotta, you know, get the waste out of their body. So I heard there's so much shit up there, so much frozen piss shit, so much. On top of the dead bodies, it probably reeks. Imagine your face is just getting hit, because cold air already feels like knives hitting bare skin. So think of the cold air hitting your face and the smell of dead bodies. Piss and shit, bro. No, thank you.
You can go as fast or slow
Bro.
as you want. Keep it tame or push your limits. For me, it started as a fun thing to do, but now it's more about research and conservation of the caves. Okay, see, that's a little bit better of a reason. Because, you know, we're gonna have some type of people to research those caves and do that as a job. And if most scientists don't want to do that, I respect him for doing that. Cave divers with loving family when they find a 0.0001 centimeter called the devil's anus and they dive into it. The TikTokers have invaded the cave diving subreddit. Come on, y'all, this is their haven, bro. Can we leave r/caving as the cavers Reddit as their place? Those cave diving accident YouTube videos are usually low effort and inaccurate. I feel like from a lot of the videos I've seen, they're like really detailed though. Like they'll go into a full breakdown of the timeline of when they entered to when they left. Cause I've seen a couple of them just because it seems so interesting, and like they'll have I don't even know how they find out all the details of the incident, but they have it listed. Seriously, it's like 3 social media cavers constantly pretending they're in life-threatening situations and freaking out for shock value. Could the videos?
No, bro. Actually, like, I feel like especially as a man, you're not supposed to be fitting into cramped spaces like that. Unless you're like a skinny man or slimmer man. But if you're anywhere like me, like anywhere above 6 foot, anywhere above 180, you should be nowhere near a cave, buddy. At all.
Have been dramatized, some of them, yeah, I'm not sure. There's like so many people that post these type of videos, but hey, that's what gets them the money, man. People want to see them in situations like that. You know, nobody's gonna care if they're in a normal, calm, safe cave. They want to see you damn near dying. It's fun, I like it, and no one can bother me when I'm in a cave. I mean, there's a lot of places though where you can't be bothered. You can go to a desert, the middle of the ocean. For me, it's mostly for the beauty and peacefulness of caves, the feeling of adventure, the scientific aspect of it too. Also, what I love about caving is the feeling of doing something tiring, painful, and difficult, but laughing all through it because you are with your friends. You might just got a domination kink. That's what it's sounding like to me. No judging over here. No judging over here, all right? I hope that gave y'all more insight into why the cave divers like doing it. And I know everybody's making fun of cave divers and clowning them, but something I think is way worse of a thrill seeker activity is all those parkour videos back in the day that used to go viral.
There's no way parkouring's worse than, oh, well. All right, if he's talking about those videos where motherfuckers are jumping from roof to roof, there's like 100-foot drop, I understand. I understand, but I feel like out of all activities, I know I'm stuttering, out of all activities, cave diving has to be the worst, bro. It's the worst way to go out. If you fall off a building parkouring, you have a chance to survive with broken legs, blah. Or you might fall and hit something like a car or a dumpster, blah. Or, worst case, you fall and just die, blah. Cave diving, most of the time, if you get stuck, you're stuck. You're stuck. And oh God, please don't say you ate that day. Because now you're just gonna be stuck longer and it's gonna take longer for you to die. And then you're stuck in uncomfortable positions. And then it's just like, bro, for something completely, everything's damn near completely unavoidable, like parkouring, mountain climbing, cave diving, but the difference between all those in cave diving is you have a chance, a bigger % chance to survive and change your fortune than you do with cave diving. Like if like someone's climbing a mountain and rocks are falling off and they're like shit starting to get harder the longer you go up, okay, I'm turning around. Go right back down. If you're parkouring and you run out of room to parkour, you know what? Fuck it, let me just take the door down. Let me just climb down, or better yet, let me yell down for help. You're gonna get in trouble, but cave diving, what can you do? What can you do? You can't do nothing. Anyways, go show the original creator his likes. Thank y'all for watching. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. I've been showing you nothing but love. More gameplays coming soon. Album reactions, music reactions. More videos coming soon. I love you. Peace.